a letter from Tokyo. Takeda Tsuneyasu, distinguished descendant of the Meiji Emperor, invites you to Tokyo to prepare tai noshiyaki. That's a salt-baked fish. He looks forward to your interpretation of this traditional and auspicious dish. I mean, here we're talking the Japanese Imperial family. I wonder what Takeda-san is going to be like. I am Christian Bauer, executive chef and co-owner at Troika Sky Dining, one of Malaysia's most innovative fine dining restaurants. I wanted to have some fun with my European heritage and my love of world cuisine, so I came up with the idea of taking over the kitchens of royal families and reinventing traditional palace dining. My style of cooking is modern, but it always has a definite twist. Who doesn't love a challenge? Join me as I put my culinary skills to the test. Tokyo, one of the world's great cities. Lots of excitement, lots of people, and lots of food. Tokyo is not only the capital of Japan, it is also the most populous metropolitan area in the world. It is the seat of the Japanese government and the home of the Japanese Imperial family. The Japanese Imperial family is the longest continuous dynasty in the world, stretching back over 1,500 years. My host today, Mr. Takeda, is part of that family. Takeda Tsuneyasu's great-great-grandfather, the Meiji Emperor, ruled from 1867 to 1912 and presided over the rise of modern Japan. Meeting a member of Japan's imperial family seemed a little daunting, so I decided to seek out Dr. Yoshino Toshiaki, an old acquaintance of Mr. Takeda, to see if I can learn a little more about the man I'll be cooking for. Dr. Yoshino, I'm really looking forward to meeting Mr. Takeda. What can you tell me about him?
Takeda Tsuneyasu 様は天皇の血を強く引いている旧皇族だけではなくて、いろんな側面を持っています。まず一つ目は彼は、憲法学者です。日本国憲法だけではなくて憲法一般について研究して、博士号を持っているというそういう方です。もう一つの側面は作家です。ライターです。非常にたくさんの賞を受賞していまして、その中の一つはドキュメントの賞、彼の著作に関する賞も取っています。
After our chat, Dr. Yoshino pointed out a portrait of the Meiji Emperor, whom he said bore a striking resemblance to Mr. Takeda Tsuneyasu. The dish I've been invited to reinvent is tai no shioyaki, a highly venerated salt-grilled sea bream that was a staple of the imperial family. Today, Thai is usually reserved for special celebrations such as New Year or weddings. Strolling through the grounds of the Imperial Palace, I took a moment to reflect on the centuries of Japanese culture and cuisine and the challenge that lay ahead of me. It's early morning, the sun is rising over Tokyo, and I'm about to go off and meet my host, Mr. Takeda, at the Meiji Shrine. Looks like it's going to be a glorious day. Spanning over 700,000 square meters of forest area, the Meiji Shrine is one of Japan's true imperial landmarks. It's here that I finally get to meet the Meiji Emperor's descendant. Takeda-san, I'm Chris.
Chris-san, nice to meet you. Let's go. で、あそこに見えるこう丸いのがありますけども、あれはエンブレム、 天皇だけが使える天皇のみが使うことができる印なんですね。菊の紋なんです。ここは明治神宮って言いまして、私のおじいさんのおじいさんにあたる明治天皇が祀られている場所です。
First built in 1915, the Meiji Shrine is dedicated to the Meiji Emperor, who helped restore imperial rule to Japan. Before entering the shrine, it is customary to perform a small cleansing ritual, as Mr. Takeda shows me. Can you tell me a little bit about the Meiji Emperor?
はい、明治天皇は、私たち日本人にとっては、とても大切な天皇です。現在の天皇陛下が125代なんですけども、2600年以上、歴代の天皇がずっと日本の国を治めてきました。で、明治天皇は3代前の天皇ですから、だから前の天皇でして、ちょうど日本がもう小さな弱い国だったところから、開国をして、立派な国、日本が近代化する上で非常に力を放った天皇なんです。
Following our visit to the shrine, Mr. Takeda takes me to the nearby Imperial treasure house, containing portraits of all the Japanese emperors and other striking artifacts from the Meiji era. Do we know what the Meiji Emperor used to eat?
はい、伝えられているところによりますと、明治天皇は大変質素を是としていた方ですので、大変シンプルな日本食を中心とされてました。ただ明治時代は西洋文明が入ってきまして、皇居の中でも正式な会では洋食を召し上がるようになりましたので、その和食と洋食と両方を召し上がりになったようです。
Mr. Takeda is passionate about his imperial lineage and has gained prominence for authoring several books on Japanese royal history. I learn he's also a bit of a celebrity among the Japanese and quite a foodie.
クリスさん、ここが築地です。日本で一番大きい魚の。
Coming up, we visit the largest seafood market in the world and I sample some of the best sashimi I have ever had. Tokyo, Japan. I'm here to cook my version of Thai no Shoyaki, salt-grilled sea bream for the descendant of the Meiji Emperor, Takeda Tsuneyasu. To find the freshest Thai, Takeda-san invites me to meet him early in the morning at a very special place.
クリスさん、ここが築地です。日本で一番大きい魚の市場ですね。それで日本の皇室もこの魚を使ってます。ですから天皇陛下もこの築地の魚を召し上がってるんですね。
The atmosphere is amazing. There is tons to eat. I could really spend the whole day here. Every single thing you could want, you can find. Over there are huge pieces of tuna being cut up fresh to go into the restaurants today. It's absolutely amazing.
タイは日本人にとって特別な魚なんですよ。で、みんな大好きで、お祝いの時には必ずタイを食べます。見てもらうと、色も赤いですし、少し丸いですよね。縁起がいい、非常に運を持ったラッキーな魚だっていうふうに。
Takeda-san told me the emperor used to eat Thai every single day because it's a symbol of good luck, and to give good luck to his people, he would actually eat it every day of the year. In Tokyo's Tsukiji market, all the fish is so fresh that it can be used for sashimi. So my friend here is going to cut a little bit of the Thai raw and we'll taste it. So this is Thai, the same fish I'm going to cook, but we're going to eat it as a sashimi. How it's important to keep that little bit of the bloodline on the fish. You see the red part? When you cook it, that will turn gray. So normally when we want to cook the fish, we'll take that out. But for sashimi, it gives a great color and it's also a slightly different taste from the main part of the meat. So we need it. This time, the treat is all for me. what can I say? Just doesn't get fresher than that, does it? This is whale. No. To find out more about the imperial significance of the Thai, I asked Matsumoto Sakafumi, a Japanese food expert, to tell me a little more.
特にお正月に鯛を食べる、魚を食べる。昔はですね、どうしても魚っていうと流通がよくありませんでしたから、生きたもの、生のものをいただくって非常に難しかったんですよね。だからどうしても塩漬けにする、あとは発酵させたものにする。どうしても生が食べれなかった。だからそういうお魚をお正月迎えるにあたって神さんまたは大切なゲストがお越しになる、その時に最高のものでもてなしたい。だから昔の人はその鯛っていうものまたは魚で鯉というものがあります。これをみんなで祝ったんです。
It's time for breakfast and Takeda-san has another interesting place to take me to. Mr. Takeda has brought me to one of Japan's most sought-after sushi restaurants. Why is this so popular?
はい、クリスさん、ここは築地ですから、クリスさんのような料理人が来る場所なんですね。だから築地にある飲食店はみんな料理人が食べに来るから、それはもう美味しいに決まってるんですよ。その中でもこの寿司台は僕もいろいろと行きましたけども、特におすすめのお店なので僕のお気に入りなんでクリスさんをご案内しようと思います。
The counter itself is your plate. Dispense with all the plates and it goes straight onto here.
And you can use your own chopsticks or you use your hand.
Your hand. So, what should I use?
Traditionally, hand.
Hand. Okay, we'll do hand then.
Good.
You notice how sometimes they will not take the fish just straight from the chiller, but leave it on the board to warm up a bit, or even use their hands to give it a bit of temperature, so that it's always absolutely right. That's what I call perfection. How many types of sushi do you actually make?
Yeah, 145.
Wow. This eatery must be one of Tokyo's best-kept secrets. The sushi is unbelievable, out of this world. Having enjoyed my intimate meal with Mr. Takeda, I decide to take some time out to visit a quintessentially Japanese food street. I'm in Kappabashi, Tokyo. This is where Japanese people come to buy their tableware, kitchenware, in fact, anything to do with cooking. You name it, it's here. Kappabashi sells everything a chef could possibly want, and some things that are uniquely Japanese. One of Japan's craziest inventions is fake food, known here as samples. You see it absolutely everywhere. Restaurants, shop fronts, department stores, and anything you want, you can probably find. Kanpai. The process of manufacturing these realistic dishes resembles actual cooking in the way that ingredients are chopped up and combined. Some of these really do look good enough to eat. Coming up, I put on my chef whites and begin cooking for Takeda-san and his guests. I've got a lot to live up to. This will be challenging and royally fun. The moment has come. I am about to cook a meal for Takeda Tsuneyasu, the descendant of Japan's Meiji Emperor. My venue for cooking will be the prestigious Grand Pacific Ladaiba Hotel, located on Odaiba, a man-made island connected by bridge to Tokyo. Here, as part of my initiation into royal cuisine, the hotel chefs have prepared a special Thai creation just for me. What an incredible display. This is where our fish is going to go on. What have you made here?
これはですね、日本で、松竹梅、松、竹、梅は縁起物の象徴としてこうやって飾られることが多いです。それと、鶴と亀ですね。これは長寿を意味します。あとこの福六十もお祝いの時に、使う言葉です。
Oh my God! Have you seen that? The guy's going to really put me to shame. Okay, there's the fish. And our chef here is ready to show me what they normally do with the Thai.
まずヒレが焦げないように全てにアルミホイルをして、それから焼き台にかけます。
I have been told that this is no ordinary grill. It is used specifically to cook the Thai. Once ready, the sea bream is unwrapped and placed on this magnificent display, ready to eat. That is truly a dish fit for an emperor. Delicious. After the amazing food that the Japanese chef did for us, we're going to get it right. So I've got 4 beautiful Thai here, which are red snappers, local red snappers. And we're going to start off by making the sauce. I'm going to start with making a yuzu ginger hollandaise to accompany my version of the Thai. The classic hollandaise sauce is made with butter, egg yolk, white wine and vinegar. Never try and smell it when you put the vinegar in, because it's like an electric shock. It goes straight up your nose and you feel like you stuck your fingers into a plug point. Then I add my yuzu lemons to give a delightful Japanese twist. Now, the original Thai no shioyaki is actually a deceptively simple salt-baked fish. The trick is to get the salt flavor right into the fish. So I'm going to bake my Thai in a salt meringue that will completely cover the fish. A meringue is normally a dessert made of whipped egg white and sugar, but this time I will be adding lots of salt to make the meringue a pocket to steam the Thai in. To protect the fish from getting too salty, I'm going to wrap it in sheets of seaweed and season it with a little bit of pepper and yuzu. And that's our 4 fish wrapped and ready to be covered with our salt meringue. Now I'm just going to pop this into the oven for 15 to 20 minutes and it'll be ready to serve. All right, and here is our fish. That will be my salt meringue baked sea bream, a dish aiming for the subtlety of Japanese cuisine, but completely modern in essence. Now, will my radical reinterpretation of this centuries-old dish live up to Takeda-san's expectations? I can't wait to find out. Here's your fish in salt meringue.
初めて見る。
じゃあ早速
どうやるって
まずこれでそのものを食べてみますか。食べてみようかなと。ソルティーな感じだったら
そうですね、相当
思われますね。入ってきちゃう。
相当入ってますね。
このソースは何ソースなのかな。下味もねしっかりしてるし、まさに塩釜をアイディアにして、クリスさん風にメレンゲを使ってみたんでしょうね。塩釜効果抜群ですよ。
ソースがバランスがいいです。そうそうそう。
かけた方が
そうかけた方が
かけた方が美味しい。
最初海苔だけでいくとちょっときついかなと。
味が強い。
柔らかくなるのね。
あれですよ、ソースにほんのりと酸味がありますね。
タイっていうお魚は日本はすごく大事にしてますけど、他のアジアだともうああいう色じゃなくなっちゃいますよね。タイ系の魚、緑色になっちゃって。
タイので、初めてタイという魚に触れたわけですよね。
さすがですね。
原点がやっぱり日本人とタイは切っても切れない間柄ですよね。
最後メレンゲもなんないと。
築地にあるんですか。
築地の場内の吉野家の隣にいらっしゃいました。
Gentlemen,
はい。
oh, the plates are empty.
はい、empty。ああ、美味しかった。
美味しかった
美味しかったです。
これ、クリスさんは初めてタイを料理したんですか？Have you cooked Thai first?
First time.
First time? Oh, really? Ah. Look first and cook first.
Yes, cook first, cook first. This is a system in which, because of the salt meringue, you don't salt the fish at all, so no salt on it. But because the fillet is thin, you need to have something in between. Otherwise, too much salt will go in the fish. So because it's done like that, it's actually steamed. It's not baked, it's not fried. In fact, once it's done, it's just a steamed fish. So very light, very heavy.
このメレンゲのね、
使われる。
あれはよく使う手なんですかね。
This sauce matches this food. Yeah, very good.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I'm glad you all enjoyed it.
ソース and 何？海苔？Matching very nice.
Because there's yuzu in the sauce. I use a bit of that. And a bit of ginger.
あ、ジンジャーね。
Thank you very much. Tokyo is always full of surprises. The food is amazing, the people are so friendly, it is just a superb experience. I hope you'll join me again next time as I continue cooking for the crown.